Kemi Badenoch, welcome to the scrap heap, as it looks like. Do you think the elections on Thursday will allow you, as Tory leader, to be able to claim that you've made progress? And if so, which bits of the country should we look to?
Yes, what people are seeing is a new Conservative Party under a new leader, and I am changing things. People like our policies. They're very popular up and down the country. What we need to really focus on now is winning trust.
You have jumped in that answer that I listened to hard away from the results on in the early hours of Friday morning. Are you concerned that that's because if you look at them, they could look like things are getting worse compared to the moment that you were elected?
Because the world that we're in is changing. The political world has changed. The era of two-party politics has now morphed into an era of multi-party politics. So everybody is pretty much starting from scratch. What we're seeing now is that there are no safe seats for any party at all. You have to fight for every vote.
I mean, I have heard people talk about multi-party politics for the better part of 2 decades. It tends to be the people who are doing less well rather than better who throw in multi-party politics as a
well, except it's the reality. I mean, you only just need to look at what is happening. It is multi-party politics. No one can deny that.
So coming 5th and 6th in Wales and Scotland has nothing to do with you.
What is important is, are we making progress versus how people view the Conservative Party last year, year on year? I want to see us moving forward. We've got the ideas, we've got the plan, and we've got the team.
30 of the 35 Tory-led councils put up council tax by the maximum needed without a referendum. Pretty much identical in proportion to other parties. Being a lower tax party is something that the Tories have said since year dot, but you just still, as a party, don't deliver it.
Well, one of the things that we need to recognise is that many councils get their money from the government. You look at the rural payments grants. Labour has changed this to favour urban areas. That's one of the reasons why Conservative councils, which are quite often in rural areas, are having to do things differently. But you look at the services they provide, they're still delivering more compared to other councils. I'm not saying Conservative councils are perfect. I'm not saying they don't do anything wrong, but across the board, you can rely on them.
You talk a great game on growth. We've done a lot of research into growth and things that are holding back this country, and particularly into councils that block planning applications, what's known as unreasonably, when it goes to appeal. 7 of the top 10 councils that paid out the most for unreasonable decisions, for blockages that shouldn't have happened, were Tory councils. 181 cases of unreasonable planning decisions amongst these 7 top Tory councils. Tory councils are NIMBY councils. Isn't that the reality?
No, I don't think so. What I also know is that most people are now very resentful of a lot of infrastructure because they think that things are imposed on their communities while other people are getting away with not doing that. You look at London. London building has fallen by about 80%. This is one of the things that's going wrong, and then lots of other areas are having to pick up the burden. So I do understand sometimes why some councillors feel that they're having to pick up an unfair share of the burden while Labour allows its councils to get away with it.
Another area where I wonder if there's a bit of confusion about the Tory brand is over pacts, arrangements and deals with other parties. Local level, you've been very clear that this is up to local leaders to make the best decision to work out who, if there's a minority arrangement, to make the council or the parliament leader. So in theory, a vote on Thursday could mean a Tories propping up a reform-led administration somewhere. Do you accept that that's a big difference in terms of attitude to reform?
So we have a test case. Last year, we had lots of elections where reform won many councils. How many of them are being run with Conservatives? 0. So we have proof. We are willing to work with people who will help deliver Conservative policies. What we find is that the people in reform are not serious people. Many of them are people who we've kicked out of our party. They're not people that you can work with. They think it's all a big game. They don't actually want to do the hard work. I've already said that I'm not doing any deals with Nigel Farage.
And you're not going to get involved at all anywhere in the country about who Tory councillors should put in leadership positions?
Well, I trust my local councillors, and they tell me that they don't want to go do business with Reform because Reform does not care about the local area.
You said last year that you wouldn't do any deals with Nigel Farage's Reform before or after the general election. No non-aggression pacts, no confidence and supply arrangements, nothing. Is that still your position today?
Yes.
When people look at the Conservative Party, which is a fellow centre-right party to Reform UK, I wonder whether some of them think that you're too chummy with Farage's party. A few weeks ago, one of your biggest donors, Lord Ashcroft, put Nigel Farage at the same table as you and your husband at his birthday party. Farage said that night that he'd had a good conversation with your quite charming husband. What did they talk about? Did they get on?
I don't know what they talked about. They were on the other side of the table. It's a birthday party. I mean, it's not. You shouldn't be churlish or bring politics into a birthday party. He was a guest at someone's party. So was I.
What do you think of Nigel Farage personally?
I don't know Nigel Farage. All I can glean is from what I see out there. I think that this £5 million which he's received is very fishy. This Farage is very fishy, £5 million. He calls it a gift. I mean, that's a fortune. It's a life-changing money. And when I hear things like that, money that's given, not declared properly, kept a secret, it's only found out through leaks, I wonder, what did you have to do to get that money? Why are you getting it?
Farage's team say that there was no requirement to declare the money because it was a personal gift. Reform UK say that everything's been declared in accordance with the rules. What evidence do you have to question that? How far would you go in saying that you felt this was suspicious?
Well, we've already made a report to the Standards Committee to look at it. They will rule. At the end of the day, Nigel Farage said there's no money in politics unless you're corrupt, and he got £5 million, not for the party, for himself. I think that is very fishy. He says that he's a man of the people. He made fun of Keir Starmer for getting free glasses. If Keir Starmer had got £5 million cash and didn't tell anybody, I don't think anyone would be saying that was okay.
If this is found to be a breach, is this kind of thing serious enough to suggest that actually Nigel Farage's days as an MP should come to an end?
It all depends on what the ruling is. It's not something that I want to discuss. We're in an election period. I want people to be voting Conservative because the Conservatives are the best offer. Nigel Farage has a lot of explaining to do.
Kemi Badenoch, you are proudly a fighter in politics. But there's also a long tradition in British politics of people charming their way into power. Do you have that skill too?
Oh yes, I think I do. But people call me a fighter. I don't rush to fights, but if there is a fight that needs to be had, and it's for something I believe in, then I won't run away from that fight.